Welcome back to the channel. My name is Matt, aka the True Prince of Pro, and today I'm here to review the AAA Alianzas event that streamed live on November 28th, 2025. They opened the show up hot once again with a triple threat qualifier between Elio LaFleur, Jack Cartwheel, and Chris Carter, in which the winner will qualify for the Triple Threat Cruiserweight Championship match on December 20th against Laredo Kid and Javon Evans at Guerra de Titanes. This was Elio LaFleur's first televised match since signing with the WWE, and it was an incredible showcase for him. He hit such awesome spots as this big flip dive to the outside, or this really cool head scissors driver that he hit on Jack Cartwheel. Chris Carter also had a great showing in this match, at one point hitting an awesome twisting plancha to the outside, and then hitting Jack Cartwheel with a crazy UFO cutter. The finish saw Jack Cartwheel hit Chris Carter with a Doomsday Destroyer. He then hit Elio with a standing Spanish Fly. He went to the top rope and hit Chris Carter with a Sky Twister press to advance to the upcoming Cruiserweight title match. Up next, we saw Fabi Apache and Lola Vice take on Las Toxicas of Flamer and La Hydra. This was a great showcase of the women's division, and it was a really good way of continuing the feud between the warring factions. Lola Vice is getting extremely over with the AAA crowd. It's gotten to the point where she feels like more of a AAA wrestler than she even does an NXT wrestler, which is really cool to me. At one point, Lola Vice was hitting multiple running hip attacks in the corners to both members of Las Toxicas. Las Toxicas, though, eventually gained control, and I feel like they work really well together, and they feel like a real true faction, which I really enjoy. The finish saw Lady Malavilla run in, and while Lola Vice was dealing with that, La Hydra threw her into the stairs, and all this distracted Fabi Apache and allowed Las Toxicas to pick up the win. Nothing is announced yet, but I imagine at Guerra de Titanes we're going to see some sort of match between all three members of Las Toxicas and the team of Fabi Apache, Lola Vice, and Natalia. After that, we saw a trios match between the team of La Parca, Mr. Iguana, and Nino Hamburguesa versus Galano del Mal and the LWOs Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde. I love a good trios match, and this is exactly what this was. I haven't seen much of Galano del Mal before, but he was very impressive, and he has a really cool look about him. Joaquin Wilde hit the dive of the night when he ran off the backs of his partners and hit an insane flip dive to the outside. La Parca would go on to hit one of the most beautiful moonsaults to the outside you've ever seen. And the finish saw Mr. Iguana hit Cruz del Toro with a twisting bulldog to pick up the win for his team. After the match, Galano del Mal was being a poor sport to everyone and pushing them all around, and the babyfaces had enough of it and all teamed up together to get rid of him. Next, we saw a promo from El Hijo del Vikingo as he explains his actions at the last event. He says it wasn't him who turned his back on Dragon Lee, it was the fans who turned their back on Vikingo after Vikingo carried the company for years while guys like Dragon Lee left Mexico and Dominic Mysterio and El Grande Americano come into AAA and disrespect Lucha Libre in his eyes. I thought this was a great direction for Vikingo's character. He has such a cool confidence about him now that he's a heel that just makes you want to boo him. El Grande Americano once again is a man of the people, and the people of Mexico absolutely love him. He's honestly one of the biggest babyfaces in all of wrestling right now, and I will continue to say that every chance I get because it's so cool to see. As for the match, I truly believe it was one of the best matches I have personally seen all year, and I'm so excited to talk about it with you guys. It starts off with a lot of back and forth technical wrestling, and this is where you start to see the frustration set in a little bit onto Vikingo, because he doesn't believe that El Grande Americano is a true luchador, but here he is keeping up with Vikingo step after step. The action picks up when Vikingo hits El Grande Americano with a destroyer, and the way that El Grande Americano sold this destroyer was absolutely perfect. He sold it in a way where there was a huge shock through his nerves, and he couldn't even really function right. Vikingo then went up to the top rope and hit El Grande Americano with a 450 splash, and just when you thought it was over, El Grande Americano kicks out and gets a huge reaction from the crowd. At this point, Vikingo turns up the violence. He drop kicks El Grande Americano out of the ring. He climbs the stairs and he hits El Grande with a double stomp. Then he throws him into the ring post. He throws him back into the ring, and then he goes to the top rope and hits him with a 630 senton. And again El Grande Americano kicks out, and the crowd is losing their minds. Vikingo then locks in the guillotine choke, and El Grande Americano somehow powers out and hits him with a suplex for a huge eruption of the crowd. Now El Grande Americano is bringing the fight to Vikingo, delivering shot after shot. When Vikingo tries to escape the ring, He pulls in the ring skirt, which distracts the ref. During this distraction, the ref accidentally gets knocked out to the floor. El Grande Americano locks on the submission, and Vikingo taps out, but there's no one there to call for the bell. Vikingo then goes outside and grabs one of the horns from his mask and knocks out El Grande Americano with it. The ref comes back, and he goes to count the pin. 1, 2, and El Grande Americano kicks out again. The frustrations from Vikingo causes him to try to remove the mask of El Grande Americano. But that's when Los Americanos run out, and while one's distracting the ref, the other goes and slips El Grande Americano the metal plate to stick in his mask and load it up. Then Dragon Lee runs out to distract El Hijo del Vikingo. So now while he's dealing with that, El Grande Americano comes through and hits him with the diving headbutt and goes for the cover and picks up the win, and the crowd erupts once again with excitement. The story of El Grande Americano never giving up and wanting to prove that he is the luchador that he says he is, while he has all the people in Mexico supporting him, was an absolutely beautifully told story throughout the match, and that's honestly why it's one of the best matches I've seen all year. After the match, we saw an all-out brawl between Vikingo and Dragon Lee. Then, Rey Mysterio comes out and tries to set the two straight. He then makes a match for December 20th at Guerra de Titanes between El Hijo del Vikingo and Dragon Lee. Vikingo then takes a cheap shot at Dragon Lee, but in the end, it was Dragon Lee that would stand tall at the end of the event. This was another fantastic AAA event that you should absolutely go check out. They're really building up to December 20th at Guerra de Titanes to be one of the biggest events of the year with how stacked this lineup is. As we get closer to the event, I'm going to try to do a preview video where I run down the card and give my predictions for each match. Thank you once again for tuning into my channel and listening to this review, and I hope to see you all in the next one.